Hi, again, my name is Nathan Johnson, and I am so excited to be out there in April for the F.U.S.E conference. I was asked to answer the question, why is discipleship so important? And I thought even just to answer that, I would read a statement of Jesus from the book of Matthew. He's talking to his disciples, and in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, listen to this passage. I know you've heard this probably countless times, but I just want you to listen to it afresh. Jesus says this, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." I love what Jesus says here. He says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. That word learn is actually where we get this idea of discipleship. I don't know about you, but when I hear the word discipleship, I think of like classes. I think of, I got to learn something. But a better understanding of discipleship is more of like the old ancient idea of an apprentice. For example, let's say I want to become a blacksmith. And so I go down to the blacksmith guy and I say, hey, I want to learn the job of being a blacksmith. He says, okay, great. Go grab all your stuff and move into my guest room. I'd be like, excuse me, no, thank you. I just want to learn some things. So can I show up tomorrow, 9 o'clock and, be done around 4 o'clock? And he would say, no, you can't do that. Go grab your stuff and move into my guest room. The idea of apprenticeship back in the day was that you wouldn't just learn information, you'd actually take on the entire lifestyle of an individual. So here is Jesus as a rabbi looking at his disciples saying, hey, come and follow me. Come, take my yoke and learn of me. What he's not saying is, hey, come and have some classes. Hey, come and just learn some good information. What Jesus is saying is, do you see my life? I want you to take the entirety of who I am, and I want you to model that. That I want you to not mimic, but I want you to become so acquainted with what is driving me and the mindset and the thought processes and the very Spirit of God that is operating in my life. And I want you to have that in your life. That's what we call discipleship. So why is discipleship so important? Well, you can learn a lot of good information and never actually look like the one you're being discipled toward. See, with Jesus, we don't want to learn just good information. We don't want to just learn scripture. Rather, as Paul says in Romans 8, verse 29, we are to be conformed to the image of Christ. That you and I are to look like Jesus. That we are to walk in holiness and godliness and truth. That when the world around us sees your life, they shouldn't just see you, rather, they should see Jesus. So that is the importance of discipleship. It's that you become more and more conformed, that you start to look more and more, you start to act and think and talk more and more like the one to whom we desire to become like, namely Jesus. All that to say is I'm so excited for all that God is doing in your life, and I'm trusting that not just in our weekend together, but also between now and then for the rest of your lives, you will see discipleship as an ongoing journey to look more and more like Christ.